Check. Check, check. Check. Bring her up. Turn this up too. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Can you hear me calling? No personal checks. Cash only. Perfect. Beautiful. This is gonna be weird, chat. I'm doing everything. Everything in this new setup is entirely backwards than what I'm doing in my old setup. So I have to get used to doing everything the opposite way. It's literally like going from shortstop to second base. What's up, Bucky? Mike, how you doing? Clip, my very loyal moderator who almost voted for Jake, by the way. Who almost voted for Jake. Prodigy, how you doing? Wes, how you doing? I feel like this is going to be a bit of a smaller stream because I didn't really do a good job of publicizing this one. Jack, what's up? Robbie, how you doing? Listen, I kind of wanted to do no game. I think this will be fun, right? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Thomas, how are you? Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, at least you guys can see me this way, right? I don't know what's going on with that. That was interesting. Gonna have to fix that later. But at least we got this. Jack, my friend, how are you? Robbie, I already said hello. Jay, how you doing, my friend? Can't lose if there's no game. Good point. What's up, John? Yes, this is weird. Everything in here is completely backwards than what I had it. Tobias, how are you? Than what I had it at my old place. So like usually, so the camera is right here, right? My computer's over here. In the old place, my camera was here and my camera was here and my monitor was over here. So I'm discombobulated right now, but we'll get there. What's up, Deacon? All right, chat. What is going on? Someone tell me what's going on with this. I think I just need to change it, right? There we go. There we go. Can the Red Sox either choose to be good or bad? Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be nice. They didn't play Devers because he was hurt. He had tightness in his calf, so they didn't play him. So it wasn't because they just wanted to give him days off. They wanted to make sure he was healthy and good to go, which I totally agree with. Heel turn, the Red Sox are bad. I mean, we talked about in today's video, right? It's like, you think about it, and I think I would be much more upset about this loss had the Red Sox not just won 10. What were they like? Well, the Blue Jays they swept, so that's 3-0. Two against the Rangers, so that's 5-1. And then against the Athletics, they went 3-0 the first time, so that's now 8-1, right? And then they go 10-2. Yeah. So if they didn't just go 10-2 before they lost the series to the A's, I would be a lot more upset. Yeah, Mondesi's not a real person. The last update we got about Mondesi, Joe Mama, is that he's running. That's it. He's still not doing baseball activities. They still don't have a timeline. Nothing. So, yeah. I'm starting to think Story's just a figment of our imagination. Tour of the new studio. There's not really much to tour. I got some new lighting, which is cool. So I now have a couple of different lightings. So that's why you can see the background a whole lot better. So you guys, even if it's nighttime in here, you're not going to be able to tell it's nighttime. The best part about this new place is it's got central AC. So I'm not going to be sweating the entire time. And then, my goal this weekend is to put up, I got like 50 of these soundproofing panels because you can hear, right? You can hear the echo in the room. It's because it's so empty, right? So I got a ton of stuff. I got a couple more pictures I want to put up over here. What do you guys think? I mean, so this is where I'm at recording videos, right? I got all this space over here on this side. I got all this space over here on this side and up here as well. So what are we going to do there? So when is Story projected to be back? Latest he could be back is August 10th, but they think he'll be back before then. Need some art? I do need some art. I have some Van Halen AC/DC posters. Maybe I'll put that up. Hope I'm very happy here. We're still getting settled in, but I think we will be. Yeah, Story starts his rehab tomorrow. I almost honestly went live tomorrow night, but you'll need a Red Seat Radio logo poster. Oh my God, Jack, that is a great idea. That is a great idea. Yeah, we're still working on it. There's still going to be a lot of changes to, especially the backdrop of this. I want to get LED lights. And like have it like illuminate the bobbleheads and the cards back here. Yeah, no, not a Red Seat Fathead. I will not get myself. That would be brutal if I got myself. All right, chat. So yeah, I wanted to use this time as sort of like a round table kind of. Any questions you guys have, any comments, any theories, any thoughts, trade deadline, rest of the season, who's going to go, who's going to leave, stuff like that. I figured I'd leave it up to you guys tonight because I was going to do yesterday, but the game was at 3:30. I didn't know how many people would be able to do 3:30. So yeah, it's completely up to you guys what you guys want to do today. Because I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while. What's up, Justin? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while, so I wanted to get your guys' opinion on what you guys want to talk about. When will the Tommy Pham trade happen? Clip's been trying to get me to get on board with trading back for Tommy Pham. I am all set, Clip. As much as I appreciate the effort. Duvall only playing every other day tells me Duvall is getting traded. Yeah, I would guess Duvall would be getting traded. Regardless of whether or not the Red Sox are buyers or sellers, right? If they do want to make a legitimate splash in terms of buying, I think it's going to be difficult for you to buy with so little cap space. So you're going to have to make room, right? And Adam Duvall, to me, makes the most sense, especially with what Jarren Duran's been able to do this year. And you got Trevor Story coming back, right? So you got to remember that when it comes to his spot in the lineup, right? What does Adam Duvall bring to this team? He brings right-handed pop. He doesn't bring a ton of average. He brings right-handed pop. Trevor Story does that with a little bit more average as well. So yeah, Eric, I would guess, regardless, that he'd probably be on the line. Would you be fine if we trade for a Lance Lynn type pitcher? I'd hope the Red Sox aim a little bit higher than Lance Lynn. Lance has had some good parts of this year. He's had some really bad parts of this year. And I think the Red Sox can get better for Lance Lynn with less of a contract as well. 2024 upgrades. I think right now, in my opinion, Ops, I think the number one upgrade and what the Red Sox really need to focus on this offseason is going to be pitching. Right? Outsmart, thank you for becoming a subscriber. Right, because you think about it, and you kind of got your core on the field, right? You've got Devers locked up for a long time, Story for a little while. You've got Costas who's coming into his own. You got Wong who's developing behind the plate. Duran in center. You've got Masataka, and you got Verdugo for next year. So it's like you do have a ton of core players built up within your actual fielding positions. It's your starting pitching where you need to get the reinforcements. I think that's where they really need to focus on this year, because or in the offseason, because that's how you turn this team into a contender. This team had decent pitching at the beginning of the year. You're probably looking at a third place team right now. What are the odds of Red Sox Ohtani trade? Like 0.001%, Tobias. I'm going to make a video this weekend. Joe Kelly get a right-hander back for the 7th inning. Hey, they did say they were looking for it, so I could see it. Do you see Whitlock and Houck staying in the rotation long-term? What's up, Harrison? That's a good question. I don't know if I see both of them staying in there, Gritty. I think personally, I think Houck has the more potential in the bullpen, and I think Whitlock has more potential in the rotation. But the problem is, right, neither of them have been able to stay very healthy. Obviously this year, whatever happened to Houck, that was obviously not his fault at all. So I think it comes down to what Whitlock's health is. We should DFA Caleb Ort? Maybe. I mean, yeah, if they need to make room, I don't think anyone will be too concerned with losing him on the team, right? Uh, Ballpark Sports predicts Paul DeYoung to the Sox. What do you think? I think probably not. I think probably not. I think when you look at DeYoung and you look at what the Red Sox needed the deadline, right? They've already kind of come out and said, look, if we're going to be buyers, we're going to look for a rotational piece, back-end rotational piece. We're going to be looking for a right-hand reliever. I'd be pretty shocked to see them go after any middle infielders, right? You're getting Story back in a couple of weeks. You've got Arroyo, a combination of Arroyo, Chang, Reyes, some sort of combination there where you have enough guys to have some depth in the middle infield. And then you look at the next couple of years, right? A lot of your big prospects are going to be coming up as middle infielders. So it's tough to me to for the Red Sox, if I'm the Red Sox, to justify trading for another middle infielder, regardless of whether or not Paul DeYoung's having a pretty decent season. Duvall and Paxton on the way out? I don't know, right? I think Duvall's more likely right now than Paxton, but it depends on these next 10 days. God, I can't wait for Story to come back. Me either. What's up, Jason? Sox trade for Montgomery, extend him, trade away Paxton for future pieces. If they were going to trade Paxton, Aiden, that is 100% what I would see them doing, right? Getting a sort of younger, controllable piece that they then can use, and even if they extend them, that I could 100% see them doing. Hey Corbin, I buckled my knee today fielding ground ball, but all I need is a new knee bracelet. My ACL's fine. Thank God, QB. That's awesome. Paxton needs to stay. I would love for Paxton to stay, but I understand the reasons for if they do end up trading him. I'd like to see the Sox get some pitchers with years of control, but I don't know the cost. It would be a lot. Is Verdugo safe? If you want quality back, he might be in a deal. That's a great question. The question of is Verdugo safe? I would say no, he's not safe. I would say he's less likely to be traded than a lot of these sort of 1-year type contract deals. But is he safe? I wouldn't say he's 100% not getting traded. And the next couple comments. Story returns Kike out. We talked about it last time. If I'm the Red Sox, I'm trying to trade Kike and get any money off that contract. But I could also see them just DFAing Yu Chang instead. So a couple of stuff about extending Verdugo. Should we extend Verdugo? I mean, it's a great question. Left-handed heavy. It depends, right? It depends. I mean, it depends on what prospects you're most comfortable in, right? Are you? I mean, obviously, you're kind of assuming that Marcelo Mayer is going to be sort of your blue chip prospect, but what if one of these guys like York picks up in the big leagues or Rafaela picks up in the big leagues and you could stick him at second base, right? I don't know, right? The left-handed heavy thing to me isn't as big of an issue as some people may make it out to be. I think if you're a good hitter and you can hit both sides from the mounds, I don't think it really matters what your lefty-lefty matchups are. So you're telling us there's a chance? Yeah, on Ohtani? Yeah. What did Sam Kennedy say, Harris? I didn't see that. What are the chances that Trevor Story returns red hot? I would say about 30%. Do we DFA Kike? I don't think they DFA Kike. Trade Pablo Reyes? I would assume that's kind of why they are waiting on bringing him back, because they're trying to figure out a trade for one of Kike, Arroyo, or Reyes, or Chang, honestly. I would venture to guess Arroyo's pretty comfortably okay. Need a starting pitcher? Definitely need a starting pitcher. You saw my guy, Fujinami. Yeah, I did see that. I agreed with you there. Thoughts on trading for TA7 and Giolito? Been sitting on this all day. Makes perfect sense. I don't think TA7 makes sense, but Giolito does. I think the two of them combined, it would be... and the other thing, too, is with Tim Anderson, yeah, I think a lot of what his production has been this year is just him being unhappy on the Chicago White Sox. But at the same time, too, you would essentially be trading away for another Kike Hernandez, and we've seen how that's gone this year. So I would be cautious about TA7, but Giolito I would love. What do I think about selling high on Verdugo? I think we talked about that, right? Robbie mentioned a trade for Verdugo. It's not something that I don't see happening. It's something that I don't think is going to happen. Could you see us getting Michael Kopech? It'd be pretty hard. It would be pretty hard. Trade Trevor Story for Dylan Cease? That's definitely not going to happen. Sorry, money. What's up, Action? I feel like the only way Paxton is sent out is a team that's strapped for cash, Dodgers, Houston, etc., wanting a good starter for cheap. Well, to be honest with you, if the Red Sox do end up saying, if the Red Sox do end up saying they want to trade away these guys like Duvall, like Paxton, Paxton's one of the most interesting arms on the market, right? That's going to be a pretty decent bidding war, I think. Yeah, Nick. I think if we play Kike in more of a utility type role and he's playing second base and outfield, he will be a little bit better. Arroyo drives you nuts. Yeah, I think Arroyo's pretty polarizing. Yeah, I think he's pretty polarizing. Eddie Rodriguez back, 2 big contracts, so no. Yeah. Can't believe we lost the last 2 games. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the farm system's at a boiling point. Almost everyone's blazing hot. You got to sell some of these guys high, I feel like. That is exactly what they need to do, Clip. Yes. 100% yes. Yeah, because you think about it, right? The problem with your farm system is that about league-wide, about 10% of your prospects are going to get to the major leagues, and about 1% of those prospects are going to make an impact at the major league level. So you're probably talking, if you're looking at the Red Sox top 25, probably 2, 3, 4 of those guys are going to make it in the major leagues, right? They're going to be regular, everyday players in the major leagues. Maybe 2 or 3 of them stick on the Boston Red Sox. So with everyone doing well is fantastic, but the reason you build up and you create this wealth of prospects, and the reason it's so important to have a good farm system is not because you want to have all of your team homegrown. It's because you can utilize that farm system to get proven talent, right? There's a good when you're a front office, or regardless of what position you're in the front office, right? The face of the front office right now is Chaim Bloom, but again, he's not doing every little thing here. But when you're talking about Chaim Bloom in the front office, building up that farm is super important because of that availability that you have, the options that you have, the versatility that you give a team with a strong and really, really great farm system, and one that's performing well, right? You look at the Dodgers and what they've been able to do trade-wise over the last couple of years. How many of those prospects have been legitimate impact players? Not a lot of them, right? You look at the Red Sox, Verdugo and Wong have been legitimate impact players, but you look at what they gave the Washington Nationals, you look at what they gave these other teams, and it's not a whole lot of production, right? They build up this wealth of minor league players, they have them perform well, and then you flip them for proven major league talent. And that's what the real benefit of having a good farm system is. So yes, at some point they do need to sell high on some guys. I think we need to sign Bayo to a long-term contract soon. Yes. What's up, Brandon? You guys want to say hey to Tony? Everyone say hi to Tony in the chat. What's up, Tony? We have too many left bats. I talked about this a little bit, Shooter. I don't know if you were here for this. When you're talking about left bats, right, I understand the reasoning, right? You want a balanced lineup, but at the same time, too, if you're a good player, if you are a player that can hit both sides of the ball and you can be productive against both sides of the ball, I don't have a problem with that lefty-heavy lineup, right? Especially when you're talking about lefties as in Masataka Yoshida, Rafael Devers, Alex Verdugo, Tristan Casas these past couple of months. These have been guys who've been good against both sides of the ball historically in their career or just this season. I don't mind having a lefty-heavy lineup when you're talking about stuff like that. That's not to say that I don't want right-handed power in the lineup, right? That's just saying that it's not like my top priority to have a balanced lineup, especially if you're talking about guys who are going to be impactful on both sides of the ball. If the Red Sox play 500 up to the deadline, do they buy or sell? Honestly, I don't really. My focus is not on Whether or not the Red Sox win or lose, well, obviously, I mean, they have to win to get themselves in this position. But I'm saying if they play 500, that's not my indication. My indication is how far out of a wild card spot are they, and what do the teams in front of them look like. The Houston Astros are really injured right now. The Blue Jays have their faults and aren't a perfect team. And the Yankees have absolutely crapped the bed, right? So it depends on where you're at in terms of that sort of race right there, right? If Paxton goes, is the season over? Can we work around his loss? It'd be really hard to work around his loss, I think. Yeah, I agree with you, Shooter. What's up? What's up, Mr. Bob Dylan? Good morning from Vietnam. How you doing? Should we trade Turner and move Yoshida to DH and call up Rafaela? If you're not selling, or even if you are selling, I would say no. No. After the last couple of games, will the Red Sox consider going after another bat? No, I don't think so. Is Duran a free agent next year? No. No, Duran's got a while before he's a free agent. Move Duran when he's hot? I don't think Duran's just hot. I think Duran is good, and I would hold on to Jarren Duran for now. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at, right? When you're talking about the records of these teams ahead of you or near you, that's sort of what I'm looking at, as opposed to just the Red Sox and their record over the next couple of days too. One thing I noticed is that even though we lost the series to the A's, we basically stayed. Yeah. It's a tough time of the year for everyone in the AL East right now. Do you think the Red Sox have a shot at getting NPB superstar? Yes, I do. I think they have a pretty good shot. Yeah, Shooter, but I mean, it happens, right? I talked about it. Should the Red Sox trade for Lucas Giolito? If they can make the cap room, I'm in. I'm with you, Shooter. Eventually, the Red Sox are going to have to try and figure out which of these high-level prospects they think are going to be legitimate impact players, and which of these high-level prospects do you need to sell now before they don't become high-level players and you end up in a Bobby Dahlbeck type situation, right? Because again, not all of these guys are going to be all-star pitchers or all-star players. If you're Heim, what do you need to see in the next 12 days to buy? I need to see fight. I need to see this team not just beat the Mets, right? Because the Mets have been struggling this year, but they've been hot lately. That's not going to be an easy series. I need to see them go after. Let me see, because you do what? It's the Mets, Braves, Giants, right? So you're playing two. So you're doing the Mets, the Braves, the Giants, and then you're in the trade deadline while playing the Seattle Mariners, but I'm not really going to count that. So what I'm looking at, if I'm Chaim Bloom, is between the Mets, the Braves, and the Giants. One, what is your fight, right? What is your fight to get back into this thing after losing to the Athletics? Because what we've seen so far this year is the Red Sox losing to teams like this, where they lose to teams they know they should have beaten and then crumble. They spiral. We talked about it in today's video if you haven't watched it already, right? We talked about the fact that this team lives and dies by its offense, and if its offense isn't doing well, it tends to take a while to get back. They can't do that right now. If they do that right now and over the next two series even, if they do that against the Mets and then against the Braves, sell. Right? Sell, because at that point, it's going to take you another 2 weeks to get this offense back and ready to go. And at that point, what is your chances of making the playoffs look like, right? It's a hard thing to balance, but over the next 12 days, you need to see bounce back. You need to see fights. Yeah, Jason, I really don't think Justin Turner's on the list. Did you see what it'll cost to get Ohtani? They're saying Bayo, Meyer, York, and Rafaela. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that, Pac-Man. I'm doing a video this weekend on trading for Ohtani just because it'd be fun. Rafaela's strikeout to walk ratio is concerning. It always has been concerning. I agree with that, Jackson, for sure. Since next year's free agent class is pitching heavy and will cost a lot, wouldn't it make sense to offer Paxton an extension if the money was right? It would. It depends on what the money is. It depends on what the money is, because it's a big risk because you've already got Sale for the next couple of years. You're not trading Sale. No one's going to take that. If they want to get rid of the contract, you know what I mean? No one's going to take that. So you got Sale for the next couple of years. Whitlock's had his injury history. Houck has been really unfortunate, but he has gotten injured, right? And then you add Paxton to that list. That's three out of your 5 starting rotation pieces that have been injured lately. I would be cautious about giving him an extension, but it is a thought. It is a thought for sure that, hey, it's going to be expensive to get any starting pitchers on this open market because it's very top heavy pitching wise. Is it worth it? I don't know. Depends on the money. Maybe Prodigy. I have to look at what he's worth. Sam Kennedy. Much more important to get injured Red Sox back than make trades. Yeah, we all kind of knew that's what it was going to be, right? We weren't going to expect a big trade deadline. We knew it was going to be our trade pieces are going to be our players coming back from injury. We knew that's what it was going to be. Poor Dahlbeck, poster boy for failure. I don't mean him as a failure, right? It's just when he first broke in, it's like, all right, this is a guy who could be a guy, right? And then he just ended up being more of a platoon bat as opposed. Think that the Red Sox will report? You think that oh my God. Do you think that the Red Sox will promote Nick York to MLB level by the end of the season or move him up and keep him in AAA? AAA. He won't make the big leagues. Shooter, you're 100% right? It's not going to be black and white when it comes to the deadline. And I think it's going to make a lot of people angry because people are either in the white is in terms of buy or the black is in terms of sell. There's a gray area there that the Red Sox played last year, and the reason people are so against it was because of what they did last year, right? You didn't get under the luxury tax, and you fell apart in the second half of the season because you chose the guys who were the sort of glue of the clubhouse, basically, right? So you look at it, and it's like, okay, well, last year sucked, but buying and selling could very well work. It just depends on who you buy and who you sell. Picked a bad time to lose a series. Totally agree. Thoughts on giving Armand Marquez a Paxton type deal? I would be pretty against that, to be honest with you. What's the plan for Murphy? Is he supposed to work his way to a 5 spot? No, I think they want him to be a reliever, Nick. Yeah. Bayo and Meyer are untouchable for me. Anyone else is free to go as long as it's for Ohtani. You're not getting Ohtani without one of those guys. Could you see us including... Mike, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Could you see us including Dahlbeck in a trade at all? I hope so. I hope so. We need to buy Julio Urias and sell Heim Bloom. I agree with buying Julio Urias. They're not going to sell Heim Bloom. Paxton, because of his age, probably won't get more than 2-3 year deal at $10-15 million, which would be doable for the Sox. Yes and no. Again, because free agency has been so top heavy recently. And in 2024, really honestly, the pitching as well is very top heavy. He may get more than that, which is an overpay. But if a team really wants a starting pitcher and Paxton finishes the year healthy, I could see him getting a little bit more. Also, thank you for being a member for 5 months, Mike. I don't know if I said that or not. Do we need to go after a catcher? Wong seems like a backup to me. Wong's not a backup. Wong's an everyday player. We talked about in the video today, over the month of July, he's been hitting .343 with well above average defense. Plus, we just got Kyle Teal in the draft. I don't think they'll go after a catcher. Is Pavetta signed for next year? Yeah, he's under arbitration. Ohtani will command 2 top 5 prospects in someone's system. I don't. To be honest with you, is there a team willing to do that? Like, think about it. Is there legitimately a team willing to do that? That's a lot for a rental. What's up, Maddie? Our bullpen's kind of nasty. When Whitlock is back in the pen, we can afford to ship out a high-end relief pitcher. I don't think they put Whitlock back in the pen. There's no reason to right now. No, he might not get more than $15 million a year. You're right, versatility, but he might get 3 or 4 years. He might. Pitching market's insane. Absolutely no value. Yeah. Let the Yankees empty out their farm system for Ohtani and Soto. That would be hilarious. I got 5 Costas rookie cards. What do? Hold on to them, baby. Yankees may be desperate enough? No. I don't think so. I mean, when you look at the Yankees, what are their top prospects, right? You got Volpe would have to be in that deal. Sorry, my desk's a little shaky in this new place. The floors aren't exactly level, so I've been trying not to touch my desk when I'm recording, so it might move a little bit during live streams. So you see, what you're probably looking at is Volpe and Jason Dominguez, right? That's probably where you're starting it at. It's tough, right? The other guys, you're not looking at many top 100 prospects for the Yankees. They've been one of the worst farm systems in baseball. Watch Ohtani. The only team I can legitimately has the ability to do it and not torch their next year 10 years is Baltimore. Yeah, it is edible for sure. People need to accept that Ohtani is unattainable with the trade. Just wait until I think a lot of people are going to be waiting. Yeah, I agree with that, Shooter. I wouldn't see that. Or I could see that. The Rays go after Ohtani because they're falling apart? Maybe, but that's not really the Rays' MO. That'd be a 180 switch, right? Yeah, it is. It is, Roos. It's all about being healthy. It's all about being healthy at the right point. If Dahlbeck isn't traded, do you think they'll DFA him at some point? If Dahlbeck isn't traded by the deadline, I wouldn't be shocked if he's DFA'd. Phillies are a dark horse for Ohtani. They might have a worse farm system than the Yankees, right? They have Andrew Painter, who's really great. Mick Abel, who's pretty good, right, in terms of prospects. After that, Justin Crawford, Griff McGarry, I've never heard of him. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. The asking price for Ohtani is going to be huge. Yeah, Maddie. If the Braves are another team that I think could get away with it for sure, because you're right. All of their core guys are locked up, and they've got guys sort of wasting away in the minor leagues. That could be a team. Yeah, if they do, I think a lot of people are going to be real upset. Thoughts on the Mets series? I'm nervous about the Mets. I know they've had a bit of a rocky season here, but at the same time too, I mean, they're putting out good pitchers in our series, I believe. Verlander's not going, but you got Senga today, who's an all-star, Scherzer, and then Carrasco. Those are 3 pretty decent pitchers. So we'll see. It's going to be tough. If the Red Sox offense isn't going, this is going to be a tough one to win, for sure. So, I'm nervous about the Mets series. Thoughts on the future view of the Green Monster? Is the Sitgo sign going to be blocked? I hope not. I saw that. I hope not. I think it's good what they're doing, but I hope not. Sell the Yankees to an investor in Montreal, watch as they turn the team into the Expos. That would be hilarious. That'll be awesome, Pac-Man. I want to go see him at some point. The big issue this year is the failure of the Sox to put away bad teams. Yeah, I agree. They play down to their opponent. They've done it the whole year. Do you think the Yankees will pass the Red Sox in the wild card race when Aaron Judge returns? Depends on how long Aaron Judge has until he returns, to be honest with you. Yeah, the Braves have a legitimate chance of locking Ohtani up. I don't think the Rays have a legitimate chance because I don't think they'd shell out that money, and I don't think the Orioles have a chance because I don't think the Orioles are going to win a World Series this year. They've been really, really good, but yeah, I don't think Ohtani gets traded. I'm going to the second game of the Mets series, Scherzer versus Crawford. How do you think it'll go? Well, it's Scherzer versus Paxton now, so a little bit differently. I would say prepare for a low-scoring game. But I don't know, right? Both of them have had kind of blow-ups this year. It could go either way. I would say prepare for a low-scoring game. How many games do the Sox need to win out of the next 8? So the Mets, Braves, and Giants. It's not really about how much they win. It's about where they are in the standings. You know, obviously they need a winning record, but if they go 4-4 and are still 2.5, maybe even 1.5 games out, depending on how people in front of them do, it's a different story. Blue Jays dark horse? No. Blue Jays do not have the prospects for that. Why no love for Paul DeJong? Did you miss my spiel, Eric? What's up, by the way? The reason I said no Paul DeJong is because why would the Red Sox focus on a middle infielder right now? They have too many middle infielders. Maddie becoming a member. A gifted sub from Anthony. What's up, Anthony? Maddie, say thank you in the chat. Anthony, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Maddie. The reason I said no to Paul DeJong is because when you think about it, right? You've got Trevor Story coming back, so you're not really going to need a shortstop. At second base, you're going to have a combination of a couple of either Kike, Arroyo, Chang, or Reyes, right? So you've got depth in the middle infield. Then you talk about, okay, the Red Sox, if they're going to trade for legitimate players this season, it's either going to be a bullpen rental, a starting pitcher rental, or they're going to get a longer-term player. Paul DeJong isn't a longer-term player, and even if he was, a lot of your sort of blue chip type prospects are middle infielders, right? There's just not a lot of room in terms of the middle infield going forward. So for me, Paul DeJong just doesn't make a lot of sense. 5 out of 8. If they win 5 out of 8, they're in a really good spot. Tampa needs to move to Orlando. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, it will be weird to see Ohtani in another uniform. I think it'll happen this offseason. Bet my life the Braves win the World Series. I don't know. They've been doing it a little worse lately. We're not getting Ohtani? No, we're not. But high scoring it is Red Sea Radio Jinx. True. Whatever I say, do the opposite. If the Red Sox play their opponents, how far do you think they would go if they made the playoffs? It'd be interesting. It would be interesting. I think it depends on what the health of the rotation looks like, to be honest with you. Because I think we talked about it. I think we talked about it last live stream, or maybe in one of my videos we talked about it. When you're looking at the playoff structure and you're looking at who the Red Sox would face if they got that last wild card spot, you're looking at facing the Twins, which you've done fairly well against, or the Guardians, right, which you haven't done as well against, but it's definitely a matchup that I like, especially if you're talking about a 3 or 5 game series. In a 3-game series, you throw Paxton and Bayo, which I'd be pretty confident in, and then you're talking about a 5-game series where, again, I'm talking fully healthy here. You're probably going Paxton, Bayo, Sale, Whitlock, Houck, or Pavetta, right? Which I really like as well. That's not a bad lineup or rotation going into a postseason at all. So I don't know. If they're playing up to their opponents, I don't know. What happened to Mondesi? He is, I don't know. I have no idea. I think he's gone. Sox need to be within 3 games of the wild card by the deadline to have a chance. 100% agree. I 100% agree with that, Jason. Braves have the best record in baseball, though. Yeah, I mean, they're insanely good. They are insanely good, and they'll probably be fine, but they could make it interesting. I don't know. Who gets DFA'd then? I think they're gonna try to trade Kike, and then they'll end up DFAing Yu Chang. You want your mullet back? I don't know if I can help you with that. What's up, Brady? Who's on your radar from Japan in the next 5 years? Yamamoto. Is it Murokazi? Yamamoto. Roki Sasaki. What's that hitter's name? You guys know what I'm talking about. Murakami? I think it's, yeah, Murakami. Yeah. 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 I'm trading the farm for Otani would be insane. Yeah, that'd be the best day ever, Brady. Who are some realistic long-term pieces you'd be okay to part with top prospects for? It's a great question. Give me a second. I need to take a drink of water. If I am going with someone in long term, I'm going with Dylan Cease. It's got to be a pitcher. It's got to be a young, controllable pitcher. Someone talked about, Big Toe said Miami. They'll probably have some pitchers available, but the cost is gonna be really high. Murakami was the guy with the crazy double in WBC. Yeah. Throwing the football, listening to my AirPods. Impressive multitasking. Ruse. Blake Snell. Never heard of Billy Ray Cyrus. The only reason I know Billy Ray Cyrus is from Hannah Montana. That's it. JP Sears. JP Sears could be interesting. I don't know how much he would cost. Trevor Bauer, I am all set. I'm good with that. The Braves farm sucks. It's not terrible. I think there are worse farms right now. But if you're the Braves, right, and you're looking at the farm system, it's not good. You're right. But everyone who could make an impact is already making an impact at the major league level. I would sell everything. I would if I'm the Braves, why not? When am I facing you on MLB The Show? Maybe at some point. If I send you a trade on Twitter, can we get the thoughts and impressions? Yeah, go ahead. I don't know where my phone is, actually. I don't have my phone with me, so maybe not. Whatever happened to Adam Duvall? I think if we let Adam Duvall play out the rest of the season, he'll end up averaging out to about what we'd expect from him at the beginning of the year, right? That sort of that sort of 250-ish hitter that hits about 20, 25, 30 bombs. I think he just started off really, really hot. Like to see Pavetta stay in the pen, so would I. Sears whip this year. I mean, it's pretty good, but his home run per nine is 1.8. I don't love that, but he's also playing in Oakland, right? He's also hit the most pitchers in baseball, or hit the most players in baseball, which is interesting. Strikeout rates or strikeout per nine is pretty good. Whip, yeah, I like the whip. Hits per nine's pretty high. Walk per nine's good. The home runs, yeah, it seems like the home runs really is the issue. What the heck happened there? All right. So this trade sent in by Brady is Hamilton, Cavadas, Rafaela to the Padres for, is it Tim Hill? I think it's Tim Hill, Ha-Seong Kim, and Blake Snell. If they could get this done, I think I'm in on it. If they could get this done, I'm in on it. The problem with Kim is, like, are you going to use... Are they going to use him for a long period of time? Like, is it worth giving up all these players for Ha-Seong Kim, basically? If it's for Blake Snell, I don't know. But, yeah. if the Padres say yes to this, I am all in. Next time Bernardino starts, Pavetta will be on my fantasy team for the day. Yeah, I would do that. Ryan Noda. Mad Bum. What? Kim would be shortstop. Story stays at second base. Story's not going to be second base. He's going to play shortstop. I mean, he's made that abundantly clear. And Ha-Seong Kim plays a pretty good second base too. So I mean, if that's their if they want to do that, I would yes, yes. Who's their second baseman other than our replacement level players? I mean, it's not really about this year, right? If you're talking about, well, let me see. You're still on the Paul DeJong thing. I know you are, Eric. Let's see what he's done so far this year. Paul DeJong is sitting right around league average in terms of offensive production, right? 238 batting average, 731 OPS, 12 home runs, so he's got a little bit of pop. Not getting on base a ton. See how he's doing defensively. Defensively, he's a slightly above average shortstop. I mean, throughout his career, he's been a pretty good shortstop. 2019, he was insane. So yeah, but how much of an upgrade, if you're like, what are you willing to give up for Paul DeJong, right? Because it's like, how much more of an improvement is that going to be over Christian Arroyo, right? Christian Arroyo's at a 75 OPS plus. No, the big trade piece in that shooter isn't Cavadas, it's Rafaela. It's Rafaela. Hamilton too. Nathan Hickey on the trading block. I could see Nathan Hickey being on the trading block. Let me use baseball trade values here. Again, I preface this every single time. Baseball trade values is not a perfect science, but it's a good sort of it's a good sort of indicator as to what a guy could possibly be worth, right? It all depends on situation. It all depends on stuff like that. Let me see what Hickey's worth on trade values. Hickey's about a 2.5, so you're probably looking at around a David Hamilton type value for Hickey. So I don't know. What's up, Ron? Has Tim Hill been good this year? Tim Hill's been very average this year, and he has a lot of concerning statistics here. He's given up a lot of home runs. He's not striking. He's got a second year in a row having a career low strikeouts per nine. He's given up the most hits per nine he's given up in his entire career. His FIP is up to 5.24, the highest of his career. Yeah, I don't know about a good reliever, but you are getting someone that could be productive. 2020, I don't think a lot of people are just expecting Marcel Meyer to take over the shortstop position. I don't know if it's gonna be that easy. I think we're gonna see him come up as sort of what Xander Bogaerts came up like, where it was he played third base for a little bit. I think we could see Marcel Meyer playing second base for a little bit. I'm good, Ron. How you doing? By all metrics, Kim is better than Story at shortstop. Maybe defensively. Doesn't he have the highest? How do you spell? There's a hyphen. That's why. Yeah, I mean he's been really productive for the Padres this year. If you were gonna get Kim, it'd be a pretty interesting conversation about whether or not he should be at shortstop. Possible to get Anthony Desclafani from the Giants. Maybe. I agree with that, Jack. Kim for Blaze. I don't know how far that is, but it doesn't sound too bad for me. I would hold on to Blaze for now. Trade Duvall to allow Ref Snyder and Duran more. I could see that happening. No, Story's not gone. The reason Story's arm was so bad was because he had issues. Now that it's fixed, it's not going to be a problem. So the arm isn't really too much of the question here. It's more the range and overall ability. Like he's got the highest defensive WAR in baseball right now. His offensive WAR is pretty crazy, actually. His total WAR is pretty crazy. Ha-Seong Kim's having a great year. But no, Story is not gone when Mayer and York are here. Do you think the Red Sox would trade Verdugo? I think it depends on the return. But I don't think it's not going to be easy for the Red Sox to trade Verdugo. Absolutely nothing. Hope Story could just stay healthy now. He's had a lot of bad luck. It hasn't been Story is injury because he's gotten injured because he's injury prone. It's just he's had a lot of bad luck. Duvall to the Brewers for Burns 1-on-1. No one files the police report for the robbery. Yeah, you need Harvey Specter to get that deal done. If you were guaranteed an extension on Giolito or Snell, who would you rather have? Snell, I think. Can you really have a good end of year? Yeah, Story's very good. Story's a very good player. He can have a good end of the year. Even if he's not great offensively, what he's going to bring to this team defensively in terms of stability is much needed, right? Story didn't get Tommy John. He got a different procedure. It's the same thing. They just put a brace around the ligament as opposed to replacing it. Yeah, Jason, exactly. Ohtani to the Red Sox? Yeah, we can dream. Would you be fine if we got Seth Lugo? Yeah, I'd be fine if we got Seth Lugo. What's your opinion on the bullpen now as it was our offseason priority? Story surgery controversial? Story surgery isn't controversial. What? I think the bullpen, the pieces you brought in have been pretty good. I think the problem with the bullpen is it's been hit, right? It's been hit hard with injuries. Charles Barkley, no question. Story's power will be huge for the team? Yeah. Why would we trade Verdugo? It depends on what your return is. I think the reason a lot of people are bringing up Verdugo is because you already have two lefty hitting outfielders. It's not the same. Nerve wasn't replaced, yeah, but it's in the same general location with the same general concept. Right? It's like saying the Honda Civic and the Honda Accord aren't the exact same car, but they're in the same realm. Now the problem is, what do we do if Story comes back and it's under 200? That's a great question. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen. Reyes Schreiber activated tomorrow. Schreiber probably not. Reyes I think has to be. So we're gonna get a move probably tomorrow. I honestly thought we were going to see a move today, but I think he has to be activated tomorrow, Eric. So we're gonna see something happen tomorrow. Schreiber should be back at the end of the Mets series, beginning of the Braves series, one of the two. How do I feel about a James Paxton trade? I don't want it to happen, but I understand if it does. 100% agree, Assassin. Miss the playoffs? What? Oh, if Paxton gets traded? Nerve replaces more severe. 100%, Jill. Yes, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying they're in the same ballpark, right? They're not the same surgery, no, but they're in the same ballpark. Do I see us getting Ottavino back? Probably not. Pablo's decision day is Monday. When did he start his rehab assignment? I honestly don't even know. Oops. Story is disappointing that we have no option but to hope he resets this offseason. Yeah. David Hamilton should come up. David Hamilton was terrible. Terrible. David Hamilton was not a major league player. He may get Tommy John soon. He's not going to get Tommy John soon. He's not getting Tommy John. There's no reason for him to get Tommy John. He literally got what it was. So unless the literal piece of equipment in his body breaks, no. So Ohtani is impossible. It's not impossible for us to get him. It's impossible for the Red Sox to give up what's needed to get him. Me and iTalk should do a video. Maybe someday. Bryce Harper had the same surgery. There have been a couple of successful surgeries. I forget what's the name of that surgery. Internal bracing procedure. It's an internal bracing procedure. I'm reading about the procedure itself. Starla Mutiny, thank you for becoming a member. Jeff, what is going on? Someone gift subs or something? Nope, this is just people who did this while we were not streaming. Thank you to everyone who did that while we weren't streaming. Yeah, they don't know the long-term effects, but everyone who's had it so far has been pretty good. Denelson LeBump night. Let's go. Who would I rather win, the O's or the A's? Give me the Orioles. Losing the series to Athletics shows how inconsistent this team is. It does. I hope Chris Sale comes back just as good as when he left. God, I hope so too. We need it. We need it. Wes, you got to spell Xander right in order for me to talk about him. Do you think there's a possibility for us to trade for Rich Hill? I hope not. I hope not. Jill, dude, we get it. Right? We get it. Any thoughts on trading for starting pitching? Maybe some infielders. What do you think is it? Who do you think is a trade candidate? I would say starting pitching. They've already kind of come out and said that if they are going to be buyers, they're looking for starting pitching and they're looking for back end right-handed rotational help. So I would say starters. I don't think infielders. We have too many as it is. No, there's a reason for it. Yeah, Tommy John surgery. I'm literally looking at a medical document right now that the only difference between what Story got and what Tommy John surgery is, it's still the internal bracing procedure is still a type of Tommy John surgery. And while rumored, blah, 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 the relatively new procedure includes inserting collagen-coated structured tape into the ligament attached to screws plated in the surrounding bones, creating what the docs are describing as artificial ligament. So instead of taking a ligament somewhere from his body, they're putting a ligament in his elbow artificially. Again, Honda Accord, Honda Civic. Same company, same sort of make, not the same model. Yeah, Assassin. I think it's just a time it did happen, right? We do need Story very badly. Is Bloom or Cora gone if the Sox don't make the playoffs? I don't think so. What are your trade candidates and who are the Sox willing to trade? I like Versatility's list right there, aside from Lynn. I don't love Lynn, but Montgomery, Lorenzen. There's another guy on the Cardinals I would look into too. You're probably looking at like 3 or 4 type pitchers, guys who can give you innings, but won't be a top line starting pitcher. Because you don't need a top line starting pitcher. You have 2. Corbin, do you think that Xander would still be one of the best shortstops in base right now if we've kept him on the Sox? I think part of it maybe Assassin is that he's missing home. But I still think the injuries would be a problem, and I don't know if he would be doing what he's doing here. I honestly think it'd probably be a similar situation. Now, you want the surgery? Well, Jack, luckily for you, all you got to do is tear your Tommy John ligament. If the Red Sox make the playoffs, does Cora win AL Coach of the Year? No, I think... Who's the manager for the Orioles? I think he's got that pretty much on lock. I'm so bad with knowing managers in baseball. Have you guys been playing Immaculate Grid? Brandon Hyde's pretty much got this on lock, I think. You guys want to do an Immaculate Grid? I haven't done today's yet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Xander would be a huge contributor to this year's team. To be honest with you, with the injuries he's had, I love Xander as much as anyone else. I have so much Xander apparel that I just can't put out anymore. I mean, he's still above average. It's just whether or not he's stuck on the field. He's played what 90 out of how many games have we played so far this year? Um, God, I don't even know how many games they played this year. Did I just lose chat? Are you guys there? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Do I need to pull it up on my iPad? Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew. What's Immaculate Grid? Here, I'll show you what Immaculate Grid looks like. Looks like this. So you gotta fill in the squares here. Essentially, right? So someone who's played for Kansas City and San Francisco, someone who's played for San Francisco and New York, someone who's had a 300 plus career average with one of these teams, that played for one of these teams. So it's pretty fun. I've been doing it. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm not very good at it, I found out. All the way from Nova Scotia. Glad to hear it. Keep up the good work. Thank you for your videos. Xander's not clutch, but that's my opinion. I refer you to the 2021 wild card game, but I appreciate your support, Renee. Thank you so much. Finishing up, I just joined. No, I would say we got another hour. Just joining, had another meeting. You're good, Peter. I do think Bloom did the right thing by not matching the Padres' offer for Xander. Yeah. I think a lot of Red Sox fans would have been super upset if they signed Xander to 11 years. Oh, I'd also refer you, Renee, to the 2013 World Series. Mitch Schwarber on the Red Sox. He's been struggling this year. He has been struggling this year. Although I think he picked it up lately. Yeah, he's picking it up. But he has the most strikeouts in baseball right now. He's still hitting 190, but he's hit so many home runs. He has a 106 OPS plus. That's crazy. 11 years and they don't sign Devers? Yeah. Rather Schwarber than Duvall? No, I think what this team needs was Duvall instead of Schwarber. What player has pissed you off this year besides Kike and Ort? Kluber. In your personal opinion, what do you think is holding the Red Sox from winning? Is it pitching, defense? What do you think? That's a great question. I mean, we've talked about it before, but I think the Red Sox biggest problem this year is not the fact that they, had issues with their pitching staff. It's not the fact that they've had issues with their defense. I think it's just simply been consistency, right? They put together stretches where they've been really, really great, but they haven't been able to put together a full season of being good. So I think that's been the biggest thing holding them back has just simply been consistency. How do you feel about Joely? Does he get moved? He doesn't get moved. I don't think anyone will take him unless they want to basically give him away for free. He hasn't impressed, but he hasn't been horrible. Yeah, I don't think he gets moved. No, Cora is not coaching the University of Miami. Yeah, that's true, Joe. He would have been a dude for us. Last year he would have been. This year, probably not. He's been regressing these last. I mean, he hit a lot of home runs last year, which was really really helpful. But he also struck out a ton, and I don't think the Red Sox go anywhere else if. Um, I don't think the Red Sox go anywhere else if Schwarber's on the team instead of JD. Do I think Duran and Costas are platoon players going forward? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think either of them. When do you think Marcel Meyer will be in Major League? Do you think Kike's a liability? I think he is clutch. Just I don't know what's up with him. Marcelo probably, I would say, knocking very closely on the door in 2024 towards the end of the year. Full time 2025. As for Kike, is he a liability right now? Yeah, he has been clutch in the past, but I don't know. Don't ever want to go negative on Xander. Great team guy. I agree. Cora doesn't seem to be on the same page as Bloom. I think that's been a little bit blown up. I think it's been a little bit blown up by the media. I don't think they're as far apart as most people say. Although I will say that I think between Cora and Bloom, I think Cora is starting to get to a point where he's like, okay, listen, I signed on for this, right? I want to coach here. I love the city. I love the team, but I want to also coach a competitive team. And I think, and I think he's getting a little bit impatient. I don't think they're not on the same page though. Do you think the inconsistency can be blamed on Cora? I don't think it's entirely like to say that the inconsistency is because of Cora is wrong, right? No. I don't think it's because of Alex Cora. In fact, I honestly think the Red Sox would have lost way more games than they already have if they didn't have Alex Cora. But I will say, I think there have been times this year where Alex Cora could have done a little bit better than he did in game, right? And I think that's led to some losses, but I still think Cora is a fantastic manager. Am I on every Thursday night? I'm actually on every Wednesday night, but because the game yesterday was so early, we moved it to Thursday. But every Wednesday night, right around this same time. This might not be a popular opinion, but I would take JT over JD. Justin Turner technically does have a higher WAR this season. Yeah, I think for where the Red Sox are at right now, JT made way more sense. I think the fact that he can play on the field is really important. I think his consistency has been really important. And I understand JT's power numbers have been incredible, but I don't think JD would have been able to do that over here. Should the Red Sox trade Duvall to Atlanta for something decent? I don't know about Atlanta, but they will probably trade Adam Duvall if I was a betting man. Seems like neither play against left-handers. Peter, it's sort of about balancing the lineup with the players that you have, right? If the Red Sox are trying to figure out who's better fit for more time in the outfield, Jaron Duran or Adam Duvall, and I know you guys are gonna say it's no brainer. It's Jaron Duran. I understand that, but Adam Duvall also has value too, and you need to get him going to get to that value. And the best way to do that is to completely is to get him playing against sides of the ball that he's comfortable hitting against, and he's much better against lefties. So it's sort of like it's a double-sided thing here where I understand they're not playing against lefties, but you got to get Rob Refsnyder in, who's one of the best lefty hitters in baseball. You got to get Adam Duvall in, who hits lefties really well, right? If you want your true best lineup, you're gonna have to kick somebody out. And if Jaron Duran right now isn't having good numbers against left-handed hitters or left-handed pitchers, then you got to go with Rob Refsnyder in order to win these games. But over time, I don't think that Jaron Duran and Tristan Casas are platoon players. Does that make sense, Peter? Padres worst uniforms? No, I don't think the Padres are the worst uniforms. I think the Detroit Tigers uniforms are pretty boring. I hate the New York. I hate the Yankees pinstripes. I don't care. I don't like them. I don't like pinstripes in general. Is Jason Varitek the manager and waiting for the Sox of the future? I don't think so. I really don't. Jill, again, you're getting it from the wrong sources. You're looking at the wrong sources. The literal person who wrote that article about the Alex Cora statements came out and said, you're quoting it wrong. You're quoting it wrong, right? You're taking it out of context. You're not doing the right thing. You're quoting the story wrong. So no, it's not that they are apart. You heard him speak it. How'd you hear him speak it? It was a media session. Where can you buy the hat? There is a link that should be popping up in the chat at some point, JC. And yeah, there's black, there's white, and then there's gray as well. Audio recording, yeah, you saw the snippet. It was from Chris Cotillo, right? Let's do this. Alex Cora, everyone's saying Alex Cora like crapped all over Chaim Bloom, right? Ugh, my tweets aren't loading. That's super annoying. Of course, this works fine. One of them hats on the work site. That'd be awesome, JC. Yeah, it'll pop up. I'll point it out when it pops up. Leave it to Boston Media to get things wrong. Yeah, I mean it's blowing it out, right? And this isn't even really about Alex Cora here. Let me see if I get the exact quote here. So here's the quote everyone's talking about where Alex Cora is calling out Chaim Bloom, right? Quote, we're in a good place, but at the end of the day, the place that we like is to play in is October. It's not about how many prospects you have or where your farm system is. It might be number 1 or 30th or whatever. The one that really counts is how many games you win in October and how many games you play in October. That's what we're shooting for. For all the ups and downs, we're right there. It's not how you get into the dance. It's what you do there. Right? What's up, Trey? So that's the quote everyone's talking about. But in context of this article, he's not talking about, hey, I don't give a damn about the farm system. What he's saying here is that it doesn't matter where your farm system is. It's about who impacts the major league team. It doesn't matter if you're the number 1 farm system. It doesn't matter if you're the 30th farm system. It's about the guys who come up and impact the team. It's not about, he's not saying, hey, Chaim, stop building the farm system. He's saying, great, we love the farm system, but we want guys who can play at the major league level. And he's talking about specifically the pitching staff. And what he talks about this year, what he talks about before this is not, I'm calling these guys out. What he's saying is that, and here's another quote from the same article. This year, although it's been hard, we've been able to survive because of Bayo and Crawford and Winkowski. They learned a lot last year, and that experience helped them to pitch at this level. It's not that they weren't prepared for it last year, but actually, they were kids playing in the best division in baseball. He's not saying Chaim Bloom needs to start trading away his prospects. Oh, JC, there's the link to the merch site. If anyone else wants one of these hats, it's that link right there on the Nightbot. All you got to do is Cora sugarcoats with media. Cora definitely does not sugarcoat with the media. Absolutely not, John. I don't know what you are talking about. Right, so that one pick right there was taken out and blown up and saying Alex Cora doesn't care about the farm system. He wants players now. No, what he was referring to is the fact that guys like Cutter and Winkowski can impact the major league level without having been a part of a number one minor league system in baseball. Can I dance? I cannot dance. What happened to Adalberto Mondesi? He's still working. Who wins, Zuckerberg or Elon? Elon's got the raw power, but Zuck, man, he's a freak. I don't know. Think we need to get Jordan Montgomery? Jordan Montgomery would be fantastic. Corbin, I know you made a video a few weeks ago about Roman Anthony, but he's playing unbelievably at high A and quickly raising through. Give him another call-up soon? Probably not. But again, Jill, that's not that's not what the article was about. That's not what Alex Cora was saying. Alex Cora was saying pieces and people who impact this major league roster don't necessarily need to be number one prospects in baseball to be an impact player. And that's what he's saying right here, right? What do I think of Jorge Alfaro? I don't think he's a major league catcher. I honestly don't know what's up with Mondesi, JC. I haven't heard much. Mike, probably. I hope so. Well, what happened to last year's number one draft pick, first round draft pick? He was injured to start the season. He's playing now. Last I saw, he was hitting fairly well. Let me see. He only played a couple of games. Learn to dance. Yeah, Romero just started playing. He had a lot of issues injury-wise at the beginning of the year. He's played 6 games so far as a 280 average with a 308 on-base percentage and a 360 slug. So, nothing crazy. Just curious, how's the Boston sports media reporting on the Red Sox? Few and far between, to be honest with you. No one's really the Red Sox haven't been super exciting this year, so there hasn't been a ton of radio sports talk coverage, and when it is, it's negative. Barbie or Oppenheimer? I don't know. I don't know if I'll see either of them, to be honest with you. Can we just be the Yankees and pay people? I hate the idea that people think the Red Sox didn't shell out money. When is Chris Sale supposed to start rehab? He threw a bullpen session a couple of days ago, or he threw from the mound a couple of days ago. They're working him up to 2 bullpens, and then they will start him in a rehab assignment. So I would say another 2 weeks. Just saw a mock trade for Shohei. It was bad. It was like Mayo, Meyer, Bayo, York, and Rafaela for Shohei. That's probably honestly what it would take. I'll take a look at it. I'm going to do a video. Either Saturday or Sunday about it. Felger and Maz don't know jack about baseball. Honestly, Maz is very knowledgeable about baseball. It's just, you get more clicks when you're more polarizing. I agree, Dr. Mario. Who are your top Red Sox prospects? I'm afraid Sale is done. Enough is enough. He's not done yet. Yeah, Schreiber coming back is going to be huge for the Red Sox bullpen. I talked about it in my video. I think he's the most underrated person on the IL right now. Top prospects, Marcelo, Roman Anthony. I would say Shane Drohan. Um, York. I really like York. People aren't super high with York, but I really like York. And I think most of those guys will be up in 2025. Except for Anthony, he'll probably be 2026. Lou Merloni is the best analyst by far. Lou is fantastic. Lou's incredible. I actually tried to get him onto the channel. It didn't work out. But he does follow me on Twitter. What will it take for you to say Sale is done when Sale retires? Or puts up a full season of a really crappy ERA? York gives me Pedroia vibes. Yeah, York is feisty, man. I don't know. I would like it. Why didn't he pan out? He just couldn't hit. He couldn't hit high level pitching. That's it. He couldn't figure it out. And I think he got DFA'd from the Nationals too. I don't think he's playing for him. Am I on? No. Okay. What happened to Jeter? I don't know. Jeter played this year. He's playing this year. Oh, no, he hasn't. He played one game. And he went one for... He had one at-bat and a walk. And he's hit 155 so far in the minor leagues. 338 on base percentage with a 155, though. Not bad. Loris Gurriel. Love Lou during games. You puts me to sleep. Yuke and Monaco are so fantastic. Wilkerman was good his first outing. Good. I like Wilkerman. Massa, yes, he did, Kevin. That's a good, yeah. All right, Trey. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Will Rafaela be traded at the deadline? If the Red Sox want to make a splash, I think Rafaela has to be included. I did not, Prodigy. Is that a rule for us? What? Yeah, I think he does have to be in the Hall of Fame for him to be retired. Although no, because Johnny Pesky isn't in the Hall of Fame, and his number's retired. Yeah, Pesky isn't in the Hall of Fame. What's up, gaming? Don't think the offense has recovered since trading Renfroe. They've recovered perfectly fine. Who did we trade? We got Hamilton and Benelis. Benelis really hasn't done anything, and Hamilton seems like a fringe guy. Man, Jack, you're pretty high on these. Thanks a lot, Larry's No Cable Guy. I love that name, by the way. Appreciate it. We got JBJ Jr. Well, it wasn't about JBJ. It was about the two prospects. Benelis hasn't worked out. Hamilton could be a decent trade piece, though. If they could flip Hamilton for a middle of the rotation type pitcher, I think they win that trade. Because what did it do for Milwaukee? They didn't win anything, and now he's not on the team. I think this team could be a playoff team, yeah. Jung-Hoo Lee to replace Verdugo next year? I doubt it. Surprised you haven't been traded yet? We could fit you in. I'm not. I really don't want Paul DeYoung. I don't think Paul DeYoung does anything. Um, who's the best walk-up song this year? I love Devers' walk-up song. Um, I think Alex Verdugo's got the most iconic on the team, I think, though. Love Lucas Giolito. Giolito would be a ton of fun. I still think this is an 85-win team. I think it's very capable of being an 85-win team. What are they at right now? Record. They have a 526 winning percentage right now. So if they played this exact same way throughout the entirety of the season, oops, yeah, 162 times 0.526. They're an 85-win team exactly. I don't want to trade for a position player. I don't think so either. I'd like to see an extension for Alex Verdugo. I think he has been one of the few people on this team who's been consistent defensively and offensively. He's had a little bit of struggles right now in terms of, Larry, sorry. What's it going to take for the Red Sox to make the playoffs? Consistency. Right now he's been struggling a bit. I think I need to see him pick that up and get back to where he was, but I still think Verdugo could be good for this team long term. I agree. I completely forgot. I can actually ask, but you can always ask your own questions, and you don't have to lick. Any major trades for long-term deals, long-term players at the deadline? Eric, I think that's a really interesting question because if you're looking at it right, and the Red Sox do end up being sellers, there's still the opportunity to buy within your selling, right? So if the Red Sox do end up being sellers, I would be not totally shocked to see them do that and go for a long-term player at the deadline while selling off maybe a Duvall, a Paxton, possibly a Turner, even though I would really hate them trading away Justin Turner. So I wouldn't completely rule out a long-term trade, but I don't entirely know if it's going to happen. I think the more long-term trade that we're going to see now, even though, again, I would love for them to do that. I think that is the absolute perfect strategy at the deadline. I don't know what the probability of that happening is. I think it's fairly low. Think we could sign Ohtani in the offseason? I don't think there's a likely chance, but I wouldn't rule it out completely. Middlebrooks is a lot of fun, yeah. Turner back to LA. Again, I really hope not. Are the Yankees sellers? They probably should be, but they're not going to be. Have the Yankees ever sold ever? Do I think Lamet will come up and start the majors at some point? I don't know, honestly. I think they need to see a real improvement. Because again, Dinelson's on such an easy deal that it's going to take a lot for them to try and put him up to the big leagues unless it's going to be positive for the Red Sox. Why is this only showing the major league stuff? Let me see the minors. Let me see the minor leagues. I don't think he's made a start for the Red Sox this year in the minors. I mean, between Colorado and the Red Sox, he's a 1.72 ERA. I don't know. I think they're going to need to see a lot of improvements to get him up here. Because again, right now it's sort of a win-win situation where you get your depth at the AAA level. If he figures it out, great, right? Now you get some positive at the major league level. If he doesn't, okay, fine. You got some depth at the minor league level, right? So I don't want to see Turner go. The short time he's been here, I've grown to really appreciate him. I 100% agree, Tom. I would hate to see him go. Even the A's could do it? Yeah, exactly. Mike, I'm in. You're our recruiter. Get after it. For the Red Seat Radio bid to sign Shohei Ohtani. Imagine if just like we as a community pulled together, paid him money, and he just hit baseballs like in someone's backyard for us. Kike needs back to LA. I hope they figure out a way to get rid of Kike. I love Kike. I mean, his jersey's still hanging up right there, right? But he's just not an asset to the team right now. What are your thoughts on the possible Rich Hill reunion at the deadline? I kind of hope it doesn't happen. I mean, Rich Hill was fine for us, and he's been fine this year, but he has a heart attack to watch. And when he is off, it is some of the worst watchable baseball of all time. Like, yeah, he's been decent. He's about what he was at last year for us. But yeah, I can't stand it. I really don't see Ohtani getting traded at all. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the stream. I think to trade for Ohtani, you're going to have to empty out the bank. And there's very, very few teams that are going to be willing to do that. Marcelo and Bayo from Ohtani? Yeah, it'll probably cost both those guys. Dick Mountain back. Sure, but the problem with putting the City Connect between me, is that when I do videos like this, I'm staring at the camera, look, right? You're not going to be able to see it at all. It would be directly like right here. It'd be like right there, right? And so when I go up here, can't see it. Yeah, Prodigy, they don't really have a ton of people to sell. What would it cost for Snell or Giolito? I mean, we could do a Snell mock trade right now. Let me pull it up. We'll do a little mock trade, huh? Let me do Padres. Let me do Red Sox. All right, and then let me get you guys involved here. Perfect. Okay, so for the Padres, I'm put in Snell. How is Snell only worth about $8 million right now? That's crazy. All right, so Snell's worth about $8.5 million, which means we got to find $8.5 million worth of players for the Red Sox, and legitimate players. I mean, if you want to do a 1-for-1 trade, we could look at that, and then we'll do like a little breakdown here. So the closest you'll get is Alcantara, who I think is too young to trade right now. A combination here. You do Edinson Paulino, right? And we'll do Chase Midroth and Nathan Hickey, and that should get us there. Might even be an overpay. Yeah, it is an overpay. So you could do Midroth. Why is this so finicky right now? All right. So if you just do, this is what it would cost to get Blake Snell, which I mean, if the Red Sox want to do it, that works for me. But again, that seems a little low for Blake Snell. That seems a little low for Blake Snell, to be honest with you. Would Trout be traded? I think he would have to request. Need a wallpaper of the monster for the wall? I don't know if I could put that up. Romero or Schreiber? I'm not trading Schreiber. No shot. Romero, I don't think it's too late now. Walter Cavadas Reyes, I don't think that gets it done. Throw David Hamilton in, yeah. If you did David Hamilton instead of Midroth, I think it still gets done. What is this website? It's called Baseball Trade Values. It essentially takes what they've done versus their contract and tries to figure out what the value of each player monetarily is worth, and then you can kind of compare and contrast and try and figure out which ones are worth what. Yeah, Michael, I wouldn't be shocked if either one of those guys are traded. If not this year, in the offseason last year. Or next year, sorry. We could try it with David Hamilton. I don't know how much it changes. Let me see. So if we took out Midroth, probably saying his name wrong. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. And we put in Hamilton. Does that still get it done? Yeah, that probably still gets it done. Hamilton, Paulino, but the Padres really don't need another shortstop, right? So they're probably not taking that. If we did instead of Hamilton, we did Cespedes. I'm holding on to. Cespedes has been insane. Yeah, I think Nathan Hickey works too. I think you could take a chance on Hickey, right? That would work. Let's see. Validate trade. Trade accepted. It appears to be a fair proposal for each team. Let's post it to the trade board and see what happens. Oh, never mind. But yeah, so I think Snell wouldn't cost a ton. I think it's because of the contract that he has. And if Blake Snell right now, what's his contract? Yeah, so he signed a 5-year, $50,000. Oh no, wait, what the heck? That's with Tampa Bay. No, what's his current contract? You dope. So yeah, it's $16 million. I guess $10 million is luxury tax money, which is good. So I don't know how much that would affect the luxury tax, but if you just take the $16 million flat, you're paying $8 million, which would put the Red Sox over the luxury tax. So they need to get rid of somebody to bring a Blake Snell in. And you'd also have to sign him again, right? Because if you're going to give that up, and you got to look at these too. Escalator, Cy Young voting, max $2 million. So he might get that $250K here. Trade assignment bonus. So if he does get traded, he's owed another $1 million. So there's that to add in too. It's definitely put him over the luxury tax. So the Red Sox would have to make room. Is that trading Duvall? Is that trading someone else? I don't know. Check how much Ohtani's worth. I don't want to get into fully trading Ohtani because I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video this weekend about trading for Ohtani, but we can look at what his value is right now, at least according to this. Oops. Ohtani should be his own team, to be honest with you, because I'm sure everyone and their mother is making it Ohtani. He's worth 44.3 technically right now. So you're probably looking at, Blaze Jordan or Miguel Blaze is about 20. Yeah. So in equivalent, it's Bayo and it's Mayer, which would not be great. You use baseball trade values? Yeah. I can see a lot of people doing that. $5 from Cameron. Thank you so much, Cameron. Can we get some claps in the chat from Cameron? Cameron says, love to hear what guys you think would be moved if we become sellers and the return we would likely get for them. Maybe input on who we go after or if not. So in terms of if we become sellers, you're probably looking at James Paxton being traded, Adam Duvall being traded, Kike, I would say, being traded. Either way, I would hope he get traded. Maybe Chris Martin, maybe Justin Turner. So you guys, there are options if the Red Sox do become true sellers and do want a fire sale. But one thing I want to mention, Cameron, is the Red Sox don't have to be true sellers at the deadline, right? Even if they're not in a buying position, they have the right stock within their farm system right now, and they are below the luxury tax, so you don't need a true fire sale, right? So even if they are sellers, I think it's some combination of those guys, not all of those guys. As for what they likely get in return, it depends on who's available at the market, but the highest value of the Red Sox have in terms of trades is James Paxton, right? Because of who's available at the deadline, because of how much he costs, all of that, he's going to return a lot. Everyone else there, you're not getting much from. Duvall, you might get something from. Turner, you probably get something from, but not a ton. Kike, you get virtually nothing from. And Chris Martin, yes, he's a reliever. But I think he would get a decent amount as well. But I think your highest value target in terms of the trade deadline, if the Red Sox do become sellers, is by far and away James Paxton. And again, either way, I think even if the Red Sox decide to sell, I don't think it'll be all of them. I think it'll be a combination of some of them. Lefty middle infielder, we definitely don't need a lefty middle infielder. Definitely don't need another lefty. Definitely don't need another middle infielder. DFA Sale, please. Why would you DFA Sale and pay someone else $20 million for him to pitch for him? Makes no sense. Yeah, we have way too many lefties right now. You've got way too many lefty middle infielders in the pipeline, and you don't need a middle infielder because you got a billion of them. Lefty bullpen, it has to be a righty bullpen arm, and it has to be a starting pitcher. Has to be. Right? Oh, okay. But yeah, either way, I don't think you need the middle infielder. I think you'd be giving up a lot to not get a lot in return. It's not about Jill, your distaste for Bloom is sometimes overshadowing, but it's not about what Bloom assesses the players as, it's what other teams assess the players as. If we make the postseason, Tom, yes. I think he's done a better job than most people assess him as, for sure. How many years does Sale have left on his contract? I think it's 2020, after 2024, right? I think he only has one more year. It's hard typing with one hand. Yeah, so he's a club option for 2025. So yeah, after 2024. You meant who he gets back? Yes, Jill. But that also like he cannot tell if James Paxton, if the Houston Astros want to trade for James Paxton, he does not entirely dictate the package that the Houston Astros are willing to offer, right? We could trade Kike for Lance Lynn. Is it? Murphy has solid potential. Murphy's been really, really good. Couldn't wait for me to go live again? Yeah, I'm sorry. Derek White were night school friends. I did not know that, Tobias. What are my thoughts on the bullpen? I think the bullpen this year's been solid for the Red Sox for, I would say, 90% of the year. But I think the biggest problem with the bullpen right now is the fact that you've gotten decimated by injuries, right? Schreiber, Sale, Whitlock, Hauk have pulled people out of the bullpen, have pulled people up that probably shouldn't be in the bullpen. But I think overall I think it's been fairly solid for about 90% of the year. Oh, no, wait. So you have him for... No, yeah. Thoughts on DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, I don't really follow football that much. Good for him. I remember in 2018 seeing the Red Sox and Eagles both win it all in one of the best moments of my life. If you're an Eagles fan, that's a pretty good year. It's a pretty good year. Yeah, versatility. That's exactly it. It's overworked and it's understaffed because of the issues with the starters. Because even when everyone was healthy, not a lot of people were going deep into games. You had the Kluber, You had the Kluber problems. You had the Pavetta problems, right? You don't understand why Walter isn't a starter for now? I'll tell you exactly why Walter isn't a starter for now. Brandon Walter. Are you talking about Chris Murphy or Brandon Walter? Because Walter's been the worst of the two. But either way, right now he's got a 3.29 ERA, but as a starter in AAA, he had a 6.08 ERA, right? There's a reason these guys aren't starting games because they're just not starting pitchers. They're not built to go 6-7 innings. They are very good, like Chris Murphy and Brandon Walter are very good in 3, 4, 5 inning bursts, but going 6-7 innings, they just haven't been able to figure it out at a higher level. What's up, Cookie? You think the bullpen has been the most consistent, best part of the club so far? And how do you think the bullpen stacks up against the best bullpens? I think it's been the most consistent. I think the overall best part of this team this year, I would say is I guess the bullpen. I'm trying to decide if the bullpen or the offense has been better this year. I think I have to go bullpen because of how inconsistent the offense has been. When the offense has been good, it's been insane. Like the Eagles, Celtics, Bruins, and Red Sox. Hopefully the Red Sox can make this test at least watchable. We could easily win the series versus the Mets. I hope so. Resign Heath Embry. Outfield's been the best. That's fair. I figured, Trey. Why can't Pavetta throw 6 innings out of the bullpen so well but can't get it together starting? I think it's just a mentality thing. I do hate that we are on TV for the Sunday Night Baseball game and a bullpen game. Yeah, it's not great, but I mean, I truly don't care what the rest of the country thinks about the Red Sox. I don't, right? My least of my worries is the casual Seattle Mariners fan hopping on and playing Call of Duty while ESPN Sunday Night Baseball's in the corner. I don't care, right? Just win the game. Like I do not care what our national reputation is as long as we're winning games. If we lose the game, that sucks. Yeah, Barraclough's been good. He's been good for the minor league. If they're going to bring someone up to spot start, it'll probably be him. Maybe a closer in the future? I don't think a closer, no. Yeah, Johnny, I think a big part of Nick Pavetta's success is that a lot of what he's doing is out of the bullpen is he doesn't know how long he's going to go into games, right? They're not telling him, hey, you need to go out there, you need to eat at least 6 innings, right? That's not what they're saying, and he doesn't know when he's getting into a game. So I think it's a lot of psyche thing for him, right? If you're going into a game as the starting pitcher, you're like, okay, my goal is to get through at least 5-6 innings. I want to give this team a quality start and a chance to win. As a bullpen arm, you're like, dude, I just want to get out there and get this game to the next person without giving up a ton of runs. He airs it out better. His stuff has better break because he's throwing the ball faster. I think it's a lot of mental stuff. Yeah, but they make these at the beginning of the year, Trey. They don't know. Greinke? No. I don't think Greinke will be available. I don't think Zach Greinke will be available. I think he's nearing retirement age. I don't think he wants to be traded. I don't think the Royals will trade him. Maybe he's a psychic. Maybe. With Bernardino Pavetta, kind of lock in 6 when I think about them together. They are a solid starter. I agree. Yeah, they took a trophy, Christian. Good luck, Trey. You'll do well. Yeah, I think he's working faster. I think he's less in his head. I think Pavetta, I think, is a bullpen arm. And I know he hates that, and I know he doesn't want to talk about that, but I think he's a bullpen arm. There was a year where Zach Greinke had a 1.66 ERA. That's crazy. This dude, and he lost the Cy Young. Excuse me. Who the hell did he lose the Cy Young to? Jake Arrieta? He had more wins. Zach Greinke got robbed, dude. That's crazy. No, he lost it to Jake Arrieta. He got robbed. He got absolutely robbed. Arrieta was nails this year. He was good. He was really good. But Greinke had a better ERA plus, a better whip, which, by the way, he led the entire league in ERA plus. He led the entire league in whip. He led the entire league in winning percentage. He led the entire league in ERA. He had a higher WAR. He got robbed. Did Greinke win a World Series? I don't know. Was he on that Royals team? I don't think he was. No, he's never won one. Greinke had a sub 2 ERA as well. He led the league in ERA that year. He had a 1.66 ERA. I'll compare him again, but yeah, Greinke deserved that Greinke deserved that Cy Young over Arrieta. Again, he had a higher WAR, total WAR. He had a higher winning percentage. He had a lower ERA. He had a better WHIP and a better ERA plus. And everything I just named, he led all of Major League Baseball in. Do you think we'll trade for a power hitter? No. No, we will only realistically, if the Red Sox are buyers, they're not going to be buying big, and they're going to be buying a relief pitcher and a middle of the pack starting pitcher. We should trade the Brewers for one of their starters. Also, chat, you notice how much better the internet is right now? We got different internet when we moved. It's nice. Do you think Ohtani will break the home run record? I would love Ohtani to break the home run record. I would love Ohtani to break the home run record. At least we're back to owning the Blue Jays. True. Thank God. I hated losing the Blue Jays. I hated it last year. I hated the Blue Jays. I've realized I don't really hate the Yankees anymore. I just kind of like laugh at the Yankees now. I don't hate the Yankees anymore. I really hate the Rays and I hate the Blue Jays. So I love when the Red Sox torch the Blue Jays. And they have been doing that this year and it's been fantastic. I feel like Greinke's a pretty easy Hall of Famer, huh? He's pitched for like everybody. It's crazy. Screw the A's. Yeah, I hate the A's too. It's crazy to think how last year Judge was like Superman to get that contract. Now he's hurt. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they continue to have a bad week, Tom. We need them to. Yeah, they're just not as the Yankees aren't as threatening as they once were. It's all right, Dennis. Sounds like a great time. I would go there instead of here too. Bednar would be impossible to get. Chris Stratton would be a really interesting one. I like that one. Yeah, I know. Zach Greinke was awesome. What's up, Will? I hate Toronto. I think their entire team is way too full of themselves for a team that has not won anything. Yeah, it probably is an age thing, right? I've never lived in an era where the Yankees were the big bad empire and the Red Sox were just the lovable losers. So I feel like if I'd lived through that, it would be a much different story. Hold on, guys. I want to test something real quick. So supposedly these lights that I bought have a like I can make the whole room red. So I'm gonna try it out and see if it looks weird on stream. Let me see. Hold on. Ugh. Can you even tell? Can you even tell? No, you can't. Well, that's ridiculous. That's annoying. I really thought that was gonna light up the whole room. It didn't. But that's why I need. But that's why I need some LED lights, chat. Is Otani to Boston just a far impossible dream, or do you think it's possible? I think it's possible in free agency, but more of a pinkish hue. Yeah, that's what I saw too. It just made my face look really red. I grew up hearing the old "wait till next year" that generations before us heard, but only till I was 10 years old. Yeah, pretty much same, Jason. I don't even like. I don't physically remember. Like I know my like I know I watched the 2003 loss to the Yankees, but all right, Prodigy. Our trade's gonna start going down soon. I hope so, man. I really hope so. I think they'll pick up. I think they'll pick up this weekend. Because if you look at it, right, this weekend, not for the Red Sox, but this weekend will be 14 days or less. It'll be, so starting on Sunday, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish days until the trade deadline. So, yeah, I would say like Sunday-ish, we're going to start to see a pickup. Belly to the Yankees. Yeah, I can see that. Bring back Trot Nixon. Yeah, that's the answer here. Go after the Japanese pitcher from the World Baseball Classic. He's not going to be available for a while, so we're going to have to wait on that. My boss is a Cubs fan, said we should trade for Stroman. I wouldn't mind him. I'd love Stroman, but he'd be too much, I think. I also don't know how he'd do well with the Boston media. Where do you think Duvall gets traded? I don't know if Duvall ends up getting traded. If he does get traded, I would guess a pretty close contender. Let me see. Let's do this. Let's think here. Minnesota, probably not. What's going to be interesting is the AL Central. Do any of them end up being buyers? Like, does Cleveland and Minnesota end up being buyers? I don't know. Milwaukee, I think, could end up being buyers. That might be an interesting spot for Adam Duvall if he does end up get traded. Milwaukee could be interesting. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dennis. It's a work in progress. Am I going to link our Reddit and Discord on YouTube? Yeah, I can't figure it out if I'm being totally honest with you. But no, I'm good with that, Jose. I'd rather have Story than Tim Anderson. Going to the sports bar on Wednesday to watch the Sox Braves game. He's a huge Braves fan. I should have a good time though. Yeah, you'll have a good time. We'll be live right here on this channel, actually, chat, for that game. That'll be fun, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll be live for the Atlanta Braves at 7:10. Be live at 7:10. No, Michael, none of those guys are going to be impactful at the major league level. Although Wilyer Abreu probably might be. Damn it, am I leaving? You got about 20 minutes. See Duvall going back to Atlanta? Maybe. It would be kind of funny. Adam Duvall's been traded to Atlanta. What? That'd be his third time, right? He's been traded a couple times to Atlanta. You think this is realistic? What I'm doing right now? Yeah. See how many times he's been traded to Atlanta. Or is that Jock Peterson got traded there too? No, he only got traded once. This will be a second time. Am I thinking of Jock Peterson? No, yeah. He went from Cincinnati to Atlanta and then from Miami to Atlanta. Hilarious. Send Duvall to it. I don't know what pitching are you going to get from Atlanta for Duvall? Do I think Hickey could be an impact bat? Maybe before Teal. I don't think so. Let me look at what you could get from the Atlanta Braves here, because I don't know if you're going to be able to get much in terms of pitching for Adam Duvall. Let me see here. The worst thing about MLB trade values is their site. The site itself is very finicky. It's hard to it's hard to control. I don't like it. Hey, Foco's got some new bobbleheads if you guys want to add to your collection. Just looking at that on the ads page here. All right, let's see what they have Duvall being worth. So, yeah, Duvall's a negative 0.5 right now. Again, it's very, very, very iffy on it's very, very iffy on what their actual value is. I think Duvall's worth a little bit more than that, but if we're talking about pitching, just strictly based on this, we'll say a right-handed pitcher. They don't have a single right-handed pitcher. What? Oh, starting pitcher. Okay. You maybe spring Uh, what's Strider worth? They don't even have Strider on here. What? Like, if you threw Duvall in with, like, David Hamilton and got Fuentes, then maybe. But you probably, or Dodd, you could get Dodd. But, yeah, probably nothing, like, crazy. Kyle Wright? No, definitely can't get Kyle Wright for Adam Duvall. Where would I rank our farm system? Currently, right now, I'd put him at like 12 or 13. He's 300. What about Giolito for Duvall and York? I would do Duvall and Sogard for sure. I like York, man. I have such a personal attachment to York. I think York would be so good, but I understand why they would possibly trade him. Because Kike still has value, regardless of how bad he's been this year. That's why. Could you see the front office moving any of our prospects? It depends on where they're at, right? Depends on where they're at. You're listening to me through 6 speakers. Swing! Your girlfriend's dad is friends with Tyler Stevenson. Tell him to come to the Boston Red Sox. You think Spencer Strider? Oh, Vodnik. I have headphones. Sorry, those who are using headphones. I was trying to throw QB off his game there. You get Ray Black from the Brewers for Duvall? Yeah, I don't even know who that is. I have no idea. Swung and fell? I knew it. You think 2025 is our year? I think we'll be more competitive in 2024. I think 2025 is where we dominate. Depending on the development of people. And, again, if the Red Sox can get pitching... If the Red Sox can get pitching for next year, they're going to be really competitive, I think. I'm about to hop on the show and try and get Ellie. Good luck. I've been trying to get Ellie for a minute. So hard. Rays versus O's about to go into extra innings. Is it now? You're playing versus CPU. Yeah, I've been playing March to October a lot. I just made the Red Sox go 115. He's a free agent, Eric, unless the club opts in after 2024. How long of a leash do you think Bloom will get? Yeah, I'd say another 2 or 3 years. I would say another 2 or 3 years. I think that's pretty accurate. That is really cool, J-Big. J-Big? Thoughts on moving Verdugo? It's honestly not as high as you think. A lot of people have been bringing it up. I would say... I don't like the idea of moving on from Verdugo. I think Verdugo could be a legitimate piece for us. But I think if the trade is right, I think the Red Sox will do it. You ran over Tim Lincecum? How'd you run over someone in the grocery store, Mike? How'd you do that? Guys got to remember, Verdugo's only 26 years old too, right? There's a chance he gets better, which would be insane because he has the highest WAR in the Red Sox right now. That is awesome, Kenneth. The only I haven't been able to get baseball cards recently. because I've been moving and I didn't want to deal with the packaging and stuff like that. I got the Connor Wong card, by the way. For those of you who are members or want to be members and gain access to the members only live stream, we're going to be doing our members only live stream Monday, right around 7 p.m. Eastern. It's not a game. It's not a game, so we won't be watching a game. It's an off day. Instead, what we are going to do is we're going to do a Kahoot trivia night where we do Red Sox trivia, and the top 3 winners will get a Brian Bayo rookie rainbow foil card. One of them will get a Connor Wong out of 250 autographed baseball card, and then I believe probably third place, I would imagine, is going to get a. By the way, it is going into extras. He's going to get a Red Seat Radio branded coffee mug. So if you guys do want to become a member, hang out in the members only chat. Let me know and I'll put the link in the description. But either way, just a heads up for members, we are going to be doing our members only live stream Monday, and it is trivia night. Get to win some prizes. Bobby Dahlbeck is older than Alex Verdugo, yes. For a good pitcher, I see. I don't give away Verdugo to get a pitcher. I would go into your farm system to get a pitcher. You have so many people in your farm system right now. You have so many people in your farm system right now that are hot, that aren't going to be legitimate, impactful players in the major leagues. So you gotta sell high on some of those guys. Everybody buy the coffee mug. I use it just about every day. I love it. See what I'm saying, chat? I sell the best coffee mugs east of the Mississippi. That's just what people are saying. How do you become a member? You click this link right here. It's right above you in chat, but I'll put it in the chat room, and then you just join. You become a member. Who would you sell high on in our system? I would start to think about selling high on guys like Nick York, Blaze Jordan, Ceddanne Rafaela, Nico Cavadas. There's a couple of guys that you could sell high on, I think, that you could get. You would have to package them with other people, but I think you could get something pretty decent from the guys who are doing well in your farm system right now. There are a couple of guys who I wouldn't touch. I wouldn't touch Marcelo Meyer. I wouldn't touch Luis Perales, and I wouldn't touch Roman Anthony. Everyone else, I think you at least need to think about. I think Blaze Jordan could be a real. I agree. I agree he could be Robbie, but you got to. I mean, again, you're not gonna be able to keep all these guys, and Blaze Jordan, you're not gonna be able to find a spot for him really, unless again Tristan Casas doesn't work out. But Casas getting better every month. I kind of hope they do, Christian, and just for the sake of Bob, I want Bob to succeed somewhere so bad. Trivia night was your idea, Mike. If the Red Sox win the World Series this year, I will become a member and I'll buy merch. Okay. I would hate to move Devers to third base for someone who has no proven experience at the major league level. So I wouldn't do that, no. But now, Blaze is another guy I would do, yeah. What's the trivia look like? So I put in a link in the chat, basically. You guys join it. It's sign up. It's free to sign up, obviously. And then I'm sort of like the game show host on this, so I'll read the question, and then you on your phone or on your computer basically click a button, and then you click a button, and then you try to figure out the answer, and then you compete against each other. And whoever wins, the top 3 guys get a prize. We've done it already once. This is our second time doing it. It is Kahoot, yeah. I love Kahoot. It's so easy. It's so easy. How old is Blaze? He is 20 years old. Don't think about D-Ham. D-Ham is gone. I really hope they trade David Hamilton. Where do you sign up? I'll send the link, Prodigy. You're a member, so you don't need to worry about it. I'll explain it all in the members only live stream. I'll give you a full rundown before we start it and everything. Immaculate Grid. We were just talking about that, Tupac. We were just talking about that. Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing. I've realized I know a lot less than I think I know when it comes to like, I know statistics pretty well. I don't know where people played pretty well. Like I've started to use it more as like a puzzle to me, right? Like I don't look up players who played for both of the blah 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 and the blah blah blah, right? But I will do like I'll think to myself, I wonder if like it'll say Tampa Bay and San Francisco, and I'll be like, I wonder if Evan Longoria did that. Obviously he did, but I'm saying like that's what I'll do in my head, and then I'll Google it, and then I'll put it in. But yeah, I've been using it more as like a puzzle as opposed to like a do it off the top of your head type thing. And I actually kind of enjoy it more because I was doing Immaculate Grid just off the top of my head, and I was getting so frustrated. Do you think we have a chance at Shohei? No. I think it's possible to get Shohei, but I don't think they are going to get Shohei. Ronaldo Hernandez just homered. Nice. Would you trade for Tim Anderson as a stopgap before Meyer? No, because we got Trevor Story. And Trevor Story I like more than Tim Anderson. In terms of pitching, I'm predicting possibly Jordan Montgomery, Jordan Hicks type trade. Seems doable. I think both those guys are doable for sure. Oh my God, they got him at... Oh, wow. That was the most lucky thing I've ever seen. How annoyed am I when I repeat the answer to questions? I don't mind it at all. I mean, think about it. I mean, there are. I love that you guys are here. The people that are here, I love that you guys are here for the entire time, but a lot of people can't do that, you know? So I don't mind answering questions multiple times. How likely is it that Teal becomes your catcher of the future? I mean, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's likely, but I really like his tools and I really like his ability, and I think there's a chance. To stare at me at Fenway, I would love that for that to happen. I think that'd be hilarious. I really think. Do I like the Discord? Yeah, I like the Discord. Yeah, I like the Discord. The problem is, I told you guys when I made this, I get so during games specifically, I'm very locked in. I have to, tweet about stuff. I'm trying to find highlights. I'm working on, writing stuff down to make sure it's in my recap videos and stuff like that. And then obviously during the day, I'm either making videos or I'm responding to comments or I'm thinking of video ideas or I'm trying to talk to people about hopefully being on videos, which hasn't been successful yet, which is one of the most frustrating things I've had to deal with. But either way, right, I just, I try my best to get on there, Jay, but, With Roman Anthony on the rise, what are the possible chances Verdugo leaves in a couple of years because Anthony plays the outfield? It's tough for me to say, okay, Anthony's on the rise, let's get rid of Alex Verdugo, because one, it's a really small sample size for Roman Anthony, and two, he has not proven a single damn thing at the major league level. Do a Discord with subscribers? Yeah, we have a Discord. Can someone who's in the Discord link in the chat? I don't have my phone. So for me, it's hard to be like, yeah, it's time to move on from Doogie because Roman Anthony's in the minor league system, right? Does that make sense? As a Puerto Rican, I'm biased on Matthew Lugo's good, man. Matthew Lugo, I saw him live a couple of times. He's very, very good. I don't know if he's got an everyday starting role on this team, but I do think that there is a chance that Matthew Lugo can be in that sort of Kike Hernandez super utility type role, and I really like him for that. He's been good. He's good. I like him. Connor Rongin's really progressed this year. He has. I don't know. Connor Wong to me doesn't feel like the perfect backup catcher. I think he's very, very good, right? I would rather have someone be a great defensive catcher than be a offensive catcher that's okay at defense. And that's exactly what Connor Wong is. He's a great defensive catcher that can give you something offensively. So for me, I think he's a starting catcher. But again, if Teal works out, he could be both, and that's what I care about. How happy were you when you got 1 million views? I was more so shocked. I was more so just shocked, but I was obviously very happy. Yeah, it just made me want to get to 2 million faster is what it did. Hey Corbin, I'm going to be on the podcast tomorrow for college baseball athlete comeback stories. Yeah, send that to me, QB. Better chance of Anthony getting ready by the time Yoshida's contract is up? 5 years seems like a lot. I think he'll be ready faster than that, but yeah, I don't think he's not going to be good, Ben. I'm just saying I wouldn't get rid of anyone to make room for him. Teal is a corner outfielder. Teal is not a corner outfielder. Teal can play corner outfield, but Teal is a very good defensive catcher. He wasn't a good defensive catcher. He made himself a good defensive catcher, and that's what I care about. I would love to get him traded, Ben. I don't think Kike doesn't have really a place on this team next year, and Kike not very good on the team this year, and you need to free up cap space if you want to make a legitimate move. So how long have I had this YouTube channel? What did we say, chat? I started going into the 2022 season. December of 2022? Yeah, I did. I did a little river dance, Mike. You caught me. It's a little Irish river dance. Yep, little Irish jig. You want to see me tap dance? I don't know if I have the shoes for that. You need that when you hit 10K? If I get 2 million before I get 10K, I'll be shocked. Nicky Punchies. Yeah, Nick has been incredible. I think you just wait until he gets to the major leagues to think about his major league performance, right? Because we've seen guys who look really great in the minor leagues that can't do anything at the major league level. So it's hard for me to sit here and be like, yeah, once he gets to double and he's hitting the way he's hitting, it's time to move on from Alex Verdugo. You know what I mean? All right, chat. Feels like a pretty good place to wrap it up here. Is there any last minute questions? Am I interested in more mods on the YouTube and Discord? I think we are okay on the YouTube, Jay, but DM me on Twitter and I will get you hooked up as a mod on Discord for sure. Anthony Volpe? Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But either way, chat. Yeah, Jay, hit me up on Twitter or hit me up in Discord. Just at me or private message me, Jay, and we'll get you mod on Discord. But either way, guys, thank you so much. Do I like mac and cheese? I do like mac and cheese. Big fan. I like baked mac and cheese. Either way, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this one. Thank you guys for hanging out. We did 2.5 hours. There was no game. We just sort of sat here and talked. And that is absolutely fantastic. I love doing this with you guys. I want to try and do this once a month if possible. But either way, thank you guys so much for standing around. Again, members only if you are in the bleachers, box seats. If you were in the second tier, I think it's bleachers, right? Bleachers or higher. We have our members only live stream on Monday. It is trivia night. Do not forget, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. For the rest of you guys, thank you so much. We're going to be here Wednesday at 7 p.m. to watch the Red Sox take on the Braves. But other than that, thank you all very much one more time for the donations, for the gifted subs, for becoming a member once again. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe and that like button. Man, this feels like a long ending. Feels like a long ending. If you haven't yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We do this every week. We make videos every day. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you